everybody, welcome back to Round the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across the UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today, I'm joined by Berto Brown. Hi, Berto.
Hey, thanks for having me. Excited to be on here.
Thank you so much for being on the show and joining me today. I'm super excited to talk to you about your awesome musical journey. So, Berto is an entrepreneur and founder of AudioSwim, which is a full-scale global music agency based in Dubai. Super cool. Please tell me your story.
Oh, thank you. So basically, I started off as a rapper. I'm dating myself if I tell you the year, but it was the early 2000s. And I quickly found out that being in front of the camera, being on stage, wasn't my thing. You know, I have no rhythm. I'm probably the only black guy that can't dance, but I have no rhythm, so that allowed me to kind of focus on other opportunities behind the scenes. So I got into working at a recording studio called Batcave Studios in Philadelphia. Then I transitioned to managing artists. I managed a few budding artists in Philadelphia, but due to like the situation of the music scene and rap hip hop culture in Philadelphia, that was very short lived. I moved to North Carolina. I founded something called Hip Hop University, where we taught Common Core curriculum through hip hop. And then we also taught like life skills and development, things like that. And from that, I kind of started working with rappers in that region, which is, in the South of, USA. So like Charlotte, South Carolina, Atlanta, things like that. And, I kind of developed those relationships where I was able to kind of help them navigate their career within the music industry. And then I kind of came over here and founded something called Emirates Music Summit. So Emirates Music Summit was designed to teach artists how to be musicians and monetize their music, but leaving it up to key stakeholders to have those conversations. So we had members of Spotify, members of Sony Music, members of Warner, members of all of these different organizations to kind of come in and talk about how to kind of monetize their music and how to advance their career. And then that's what led me to founding AudioSwim. Sorry, this is a bit long-winded, but that's what it led me to founding AudioSwim, which is started off as a music distribution company. And then we quickly had to scale to a music agency because we realized the gap in the market existed from an educational standpoint. So first we have to educate people what to expect. And then from educating, certain people, we kind of understood that, there's a big gap in the market, bigger than we thought. And then that's what allowed, AudioSwim to come about to be what it is today. So that's a little bit of my journey. There's a lot more to it, but I don't want to bore you guys with that. So
Not boring at all. Super cool. I love the fact that your kind of your experience and your passion has shown through for so many years and in so many parts of the world. You're obviously what I really appreciate about what you said is the fact that it's life skills through music as well. I think that's a very interesting take on it and something that people don't necessarily know of or don't appreciate as much. Now, obviously, having created such a or continuing to create such an impact on the local music scene here, what kind of challenges have come with that, and how have you overcome those?
For me, the biggest challenge that I faced was the language barrier because while most people speak English in Dubai, it's such a very niche market because the rest of the Middle East isn't Dubai, right? The rest of the Middle East speaks Arabic, no matter the dialect, but they speak Arabic. And I came in, I grew up Muslim, so it's not, the Islamic religion part wasn't a problem, but it was the language part. So, to navigate the waters, if I'm going to talk to somebody to do a concert, let's say in Saudi Arabia, they necessarily don't want to speak to an English speaker. Their native tongue for government entities or like different brands, their native tongue is, Arabic. So it's very difficult for me to navigate that. But I still don't speak Arabic, but I learned a little, shortcuts, and that's called, networking, right? So you network with the right people. And I was able to kind of meet some great people like, my friend Mackie, it's several people. I don't want to name drop because I'll be here all day, but I was able to meet people that would help me navigate those waters and allow me to kind of use them as the vessel of like, certain ideas, and they can kind of translate it to them. And then we partner up on whatever level we need to partner up on. So that was the first hurdle. The second hurdle was not being able to do it full time. Most people will have a 9-to-5 job. So if you work for Spotify, TikTok, and Gami, any of these places, is your 9-to-5. You necessarily don't want to take that 9-to-5 after hours if you can avoid it, right? So it made it hard for me to kind of have those meetings and reach out to people because I'm not getting off of work till 3:30. And at the time I lived in that lane, by the time I got to Dubai, it would have been 5 o'clock, which is like, they may have an hour of work left. They necessarily not trying to have a meeting, especially with somebody who they never heard of, right? So that was the two things that was a bit difficult. And the way I kind of navigated that was really, man, I was blessed to work for a government school, but then I would just take the time off. I would just take the time off when it was an important meeting and just go down there and handle business, and that allowed me some kudos, you know what I mean, from those people, because they respected the grind and respected the hustle. And then I just networked, built relationships. So that's a bit about how I overcame those two challenges. But it's a lot more, but I'll be here all day again. So
No, I appreciate the level of detail and the level of inspiration that you bring to the table. Like you obviously through what you're the way that you talk about the hustle and the grind shows that it's not impossible if you put your mind to it. It's not impossible if you build the right network around you and if you really put your heart into it, your heart and soul into it. Like I mean, I think you posted something a few moments ago of like, don't be afraid or don't be surprised if success comes to you because you've worked hard for that success. So it is important for you to continue to inspire others to say, look, I did this, you can too. You don't have to do this on your own. Build that network, bring in those translators and they can help you out. And I'm curious, what do you teach?
So I've taught everything from math, English to business, and I taught pretty much on every level from grade 2 all the way up to college, collegiate. So it's like I kind of, I went to school. My master's is in, my undergrad is in business management. My master's is in secondary education. And so, education is what brought me to this country. I came over here as a teacher. I was able to navigate the waters and kind of find my own path. But education is something I honestly like, just is built into me, is ingrained in me. Like my mom owned a daycare center growing up. My stepmom was a teacher. It was something that we, kind of like took serious, was education. So,
Nice.
but yeah, that was yeah, my teaching skills are all over the place, but they're there.
That's so cool. So I'm curious, do you have any kind of exciting stories you want to share with me?
I mean, the exciting part is a bit, kind of I don't know if we can talk about it, but on a podcast. But I've been able to meet, people who I never thought I'd be able to meet in my life, such as like Idris Elba, and I was just with Jason Derulo, artist named Muhammad Ramadan, Sway Lee, these big artists. Like prior to me coming here, I was working with artists like The Baby and PNB Rock and people like that, but they weren't who they are by the time I got here, right? They were still budding rappers and singers. Now it's just like the certified celebrities I'm able to be in the room with. So these things are, things that you can't even imagine when you're kind of getting into the business and you're working with like artists with like 200 followers, 300 followers, 1,000, 2,000, and you just see the level of like streams increase and the level of Instagram followers and TikTok followers increase, and you just kind of be a fly on the wall sometimes and just have those experiences that is very difficult to talk about because a lot of things is like kept kind of quiet in that circle. You know what I mean? Especially in this region. But yeah, I've seen some pretty interesting stuff. I'll say that.
That's really cool. And what word of advice would you have for those who are trying to enter your industry?
Be passionate about what you do. Don't stop doing whatever it is that you want to do. Like your goal is your goal. Nobody else's goal is your goal. So whatever it is, just put your all into it. And you have to fully believe 100% that it's going to work. Like if you don't believe it, if you have 1 ounce of doubt, then it'll kill your whole dream. So 100% be behind it. And then try your best every day. Self-improvement, work on your business, work on whatever it is that you're passionate about. And, sky's the limit. But like I said, you have to be 100% invested. And that's something that I'm learning at my age and, dealing with the situations I'm dealing with with my former job. But it's just, I believe in myself 100%. And you should too.
I love that. Thank you so much, Berto, for joining me on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about, being a part of this.
Thank you. Bye.